Grand Rising, Grand Rising. How's everybody doing? Before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Make sure it says all so that when I go live, you will get notified. Okay. And before we go into some things, I'll be right back. Hey, and we're back. So let's get into some things. Losing control. Losing control. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Um, I think this is very important too because some of us lose control. Okay, and when I say lose control, I mean we lose control of ourselves. Okay, because sometimes when you have traumas, right, and you haven't healed from those traumas, what happens is you hold on to it and it holds on to you. Does that make sense? And by holding on to you, what ends up happening is that um by holding on to you, what ends up happening is that you lose control, right? You lose control because these are things are these things that happen to you continue to hold on to you. Okay, it's not going to let go. When you have traumas and stuff that has happened, they're not going to just let go. You have to heal from them so that it will let go and you can let go of it. But as long as you have not healed from them, okay, you're not gonna heal from it. Okay, you're just gonna keep holding on to it and you're gonna keep carrying it around with you, right? And then what ends up happening is that you get to a point where it's though it starts to take control and you end up losing control. Traumas, carrying traumas around with you and not healing from them cause so much damage. Let's talk about it. That makes you lose control. Depending on what the trauma is, right? What happens is that you hold on to that trauma, right? Say it happened in your childhood, okay? Now you're 16. You're still holding on to it. You never forgot it. You're still holding on to it, right? And now, being so you still holding on to it, um, and now you're 16. So you're still holding on to that trauma. Now, check this out. And some more things has happened to you. So you got that trauma on top of some more trauma that done happened, right? And then now you're grown. You never let that trauma go that happened to you from your childhood and then in your teenage years, the things that happened to you. And now you're grown. You're still carrying that stuff around. You have not healed from it yet so that you can let it go. Right? So now these things has held on to you and manifested in you. These traumas have manifested in you, right? Because all you've been doing is carrying them around with you. And they've been up here. They never left here. Okay? They never left your thoughts. You've been thinking about it. And it's been on your mind. Okay? It's been on your mind, in your gut, in your soul, and everything. That trauma, those traumas that happened to you, you have never let it go because you've never taken the time to heal from it. So now that you're an adult, okay, what happens? You start losing control. You start losing control. You know why? Because those traumas are manifesting in you. Because you're not getting rid of them, but they're still on your mind. They're still on your mind. They're still in your heart. They're still in your soul. You get what I'm saying? I hope y'all catching what I'm throwing. So if that's what's going on with you, right? You have to figure out a way to get rid of these things. And what do you need to do? Heal. You need to heal. You got to heal from these things so that you can let it go. And it can let you go too, right? So that's something that you need to do. Because if you don't, you holding on to these things, it's just cause you're going to lose control, because these things manifest in you. These things bother you. When you don't heal from your traumas, what happens is they hold on to you and they create a bond with you. Whether you want to look at it like that or not, just take in what I'm saying and think about it. Those traumas create a bond with you. And they want to hold on to you just like you holding on to it. For whatever the reason is, you holding on to that trauma. A lot of times, sometimes people don't want to, they don't want to open up and let it go, let it out. They don't want to tell it. Okay? Because they worried about what somebody gonna think or what somebody gonna say. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to get to a point where as though you say, man, it's all about me. I've got to do better. I want better. I've got to do better. Why am I holding on to this? You know, I didn't do this. This somebody did something to me. I didn't do anything to anybody. Why am I not telling this? Why am I holding on to this? You got to get to that point where you really, really want to let it go. Because what happens is when you hold on to those traumas, they start affecting you. They start affecting your relationships with people. They start affecting your relationships with your children. They start affecting how you talk to people. They start affecting your thinking. They start affecting so many areas of your life, right? And you might not think so, because you are so used to living with that trauma. You can't see it no other way. Does that make sense? You can't see it no other way. You are so focused on that trauma that you can't even picture yourself living without that trauma. You understand what I'm saying? So you end up losing control in a lot of ways. You might not realize that's what's going on, but you do end up losing control of self. You do. Because the only thing that you be thinking about is what happened to you, the things that happened to you. That becomes a part of your norm. It's just to think about the things that happened to you in your childhood, in your teenager. You just keep thinking about this. It don't go nowhere. You just keep thinking about it. And you keep thinking about it because you don't want to open up and let it go. You don't want to open up and let that stuff go. At some point in your life, you got to let it go. You've got to open up about it and tell on it so you can let it go. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth, people. You do. You have to get to a point where you say, man, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. See, that just don't work in the NA. It ain't just about NA, right? That works in your everyday life. When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you want to change it. You want to do something to change it, right? When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you want to change that thing. You don't want to keep holding on to something that's beating you down on a regular. It's like every time you look up, something that thing is beating you down, right? You don't want that. So what are you gonna do about it? What are you going to do about it? So you can get rid of it. What are you going to do about it? You have to do something about it so that you can get rid of it and get it out your life and get it out your space. These things is taking up space that could be used for something good. But because you're holding on to it, you are keeping it there. And what's happening is that it's manifesting in other areas of your life. It really is, because it affects your life in different ways. Like seriously, it really do. And it starts to come out, right? And you don't. So a lot of times people don't even recognize it. That the traumas and stuff that they holding on to, some people don't even recognize that that's what's happening. That because of the trauma and stuff that you've been holding on to for so long, right? Now it's coming out in different areas of your life. You get a relationship with a man, and because of your trauma as a child, yeah, babe, because of your relationship, right? I mean, because of the trauma that happened to you as a child, it now it's affecting your relationship with a man. See what I'm saying? If that's not the case, then when you have children, now those traumas that happen to you, it's affecting your relationship with you and your children. You really protective over them. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see them. They can't go nowhere. They can't hardly breathe because you on them. You know what I mean? You protecting them in all cause. They got to be protected in your head, right? Because of what happened to you. You see what I'm saying? So these things start affecting you, affecting your life in different areas. The more you hang on to it, the more it affects your life. It's going to affect you in your life. You have to heal. That's why I always tell people it's important to heal. You have to heal. It's a must. You cannot, you cannot move on with your life if you haven't healed. You have to have some type, you have to have some healing. You have to, because if you don't, you're gonna carry that stuff right over into your relationship, right? If you get married, you're gonna put that stuff on your marriage and everything. I'm telling you, it's just that's what's gonna happen because you've been carrying it around for so long. You see what I'm saying? You've been carrying this stuff around for so long, and that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna end up putting it into your marriage, putting it in on your kids. You're going to end up putting it in all different areas of your life because you've been holding on to this trauma for so long and you haven't healed from it. So it's not going to just sit there. It's eating you up on the inside, and then it starts to come out. You start losing control, and that stuff starts to pour out of you. When you talk to people, the way you say things to people and stuff, coming from the trauma you done been through that you haven't healed from. That's why it's important that you heal from your trauma because you want to be a better person. You want to be a better person. Thank you. I got one of my moderators in here. Thank you, Angel. You want to be a better person. You want to, how can I put it? You want to be the best version of yourself, right? For your marriage, if you get married one day, for your marriage, if you have children, for your children, you want to be in a better place. You want to be in a better headspace. And you can't because you have all the traumas sitting there. They sitting there, they eating on you. And believe it or not, some people have lost control because of their traumas. They lose control, okay? Because of their traumas, believe it or not. Depending on what it is, right? Like, let me take a prime example. When you get married and you get ready to divorce, okay, it comes up, y'all gonna get a divorce, right? What happens is, that man or that woman ends up taking it very hard that y'all are divorcing. One of y'all take it very hard, and you can't seem to shake it, okay? Because believe it or not, a divorce can be very traumatizing in a lot of ways, okay? And and so once everything take off, say one of y'all can't handle it good, and you start to go over the edge, you start zapping out, and just doing different things to the other party, your wife, or the wife end up, she can't take it, so she end up doing mean things to the husband, you know what I'm saying? And so, and sometimes, let me tell you this too, sometimes even then, sometimes people that's married have traumas they never dealt with. You might not know that, but they know it. And then the minute that they get a divorce or something, them traumas they start coming out. Now, I'm not saying this the case for everybody, but I'm just saying in some cases, you have people that can can hide stuff. Some people can hide stuff very well, and then some people, they don't be hiding. It's just that the person they done got with them fell in love. They in love with each other, put it like that. And now, they don't want to, end the relationship because of, what somebody got going on or whatever, And so, like I said, traumas, you have to heal from it. You can't go into marriages and stuff with that trauma, because eventually it's going to come out. It's going to come out. Hmm. That's why you gotta, you know, that's why you need to pay attention, right, to people and what they got going on. But sometimes, let me say this too. Sometimes you miss it. You miss those red flags because sometimes people got their own shit going on with them. You probably got traumas too, but now you done met somebody and y'all talking and stuff, and they saying the right stuff to make you feel good. So now you want to go on and you know and hook up with him because he's saying the right things that's making you feel good. But you got trauma, and so does he. Hmm. And y'all don't find that out until y'all really been together for a while, right? You know? Yeah. Yeah. Because that happens too. People with trauma attract other people with trauma. You know? That happens a lot, believe it or not. That happens a lot. People with trauma attract other people with trauma, you know? So it's just important. Like, if you want to move on with your life and you want to do good things in your life, it's just important for you to start working on self first. Self. Like that word, self-development. See, on my logo, it says self-development. That's what we do. That's what it's about over here. Self-development. It's not about talking about other people and, and stuff like that. It's about working on yourself. See, because one thing I've learned, if you spend more time talking about you and what's going on with you, I guarantee you ain't gonna have time to talk about Jesse or Bonisha or Tequila. You ain't gonna have time to talk about them other people, right? Because you're gonna be too busy trying to fix you. You know what I'm saying? And some of you, really need to tap into self. You really do. And some of you scared to tap into yourself because you already know you got some stuff going on in there. But some of you are scared to bring it out, right? Because y'all feel as though, see, some of y'all have talked about other people and have done things and picked and poked at other people, right? And that's why some of you don't want to come out with your own stuff because you know what you have done to other people. And so now you're sitting back thinking to yourself that it may happen to you. Somebody may do that to you. But the only way you're going to get past any trauma is to heal. You got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. You got to, say what the problem is and execute. You got to find out what the problem is and then execute. That's the only way. That's the only way. There is no other way. You got to heal. You've got to heal. There's no other way to do it. You know? Oh, man. I had to fix my daughter TV. But yeah, that's the only way to do it. Is you got to heal. You have to heal, And some people is scared of that. Some people scared of that walk of life. When you talk about healing and dealing with your own stuff, some people get scared of that. Some people get nervous. They get scared. And some people be running from it. But eventually, I'm telling you, you're gonna have to deal with it. If you want your life to be right, okay. If you want to get your life right and you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to deal with those issues that you have. You really do. You gotta find out what the problem is and execute. Okay. And that's what it's about over here. It's about talking about, different things, that's going on in your life and fixing them. There's no need hiding and trying to act like you better than somebody because ain't nobody better than nobody. We all have been through something. Okay. Nobody life has been perfect. Life has its ups and downs. Okay. Even when you're successful, you still have ups and downs in your life. Even people that got money, okay, have ups and downs in their life. That's called life. That's called life. But I really want to see people become the best versions of themselves. And that's why, and I like talking about stuff like this. I love talking about stuff like this because I really like uplifting people and wanting to see you do the best, be the best version of yourself, right? And it's important to fix you. Some of us, we get caught up at talking about other people. We do. We get caught up talking about other people. We have to learn how to start looking within ourselves and fixing ourselves, fixing the man in the mirror. Okay, that's what we got to start doing. Fixing the man in the mirror. Fix that man in the mirror that's looking back at you. Fix that person in the mirror that's looking back at you. That's what we got to learn to deal with. But some of us, we hooked on talking about this one and talking about that one and finding out this about that one and all this. We hooked on that. We are hooked on that. You know, find out about you. Fix you. Make you a better you. Let me tell you something. Some of you think you got it all together. Some of you do. You really think that you got it all together. But let me enlighten you on something. You ain't got it all together. It's always room for improvement. Okay? Always room for improvement. You ain't got it all together. Some of y'all want to play that you got it all together, right? Because you don't want to face yourself. You really don't want to face yourself. You don't want to face the reality about you. And that's facts. Okay. So you would rather play that role like you got it all together. You know? I'm chasing the bag. I ain't got time for that and this and the other. Okay. Okay. You keep right on chasing the bag. Okay. And see how that work out for you. Because I'm a firm believer that when you don't have your heart right and your soul right, then nothing is right. I believe that. I believe if your heart and your soul not right, then you ain't got nothing going on for real. If your heart and your soul not right, you got to get your heart and your soul right, and that's just the truth. But of course, some people are comfortable with where they at. Excuse me for a minute. You got to get your heart and your soul right, and I feel as though, even if you become successful, right? Even if you're a person who has money, okay? If your heart and your soul is not right, then you're going to run into a problem. You best to believe that. You're going to run into a problem, okay? You really are. You're going to find out that you're going to start having a lot of downs instead of ups. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to start having a lot of issues because you didn't, take care of self. You didn't look within self and fix self. You just was chasing the money. But eventually, all that comes out. All of it comes out. It starts to show. The true you will eventually step forward. And that's just the reality of it. So you have to get to a place where excuse me, where you love you and that you want to become a better you. You understand what I'm saying? It's just not gonna turn out right unless you get right within. What's that song, y'all? Y'all know what that song's talking about. How you gonna something? How you gonna if you ain't right within? It's by what's her name? Oh my goodness. I could see her face in my head and I can't even call her name. It's how you gonna if you ain't right within come again? Yeah. Yeah. Girl, you know you better watch out. What is her name? Oh, I can't believe and she's to me, she's an icon. To me. Um Lauren Hill. Yeah. How you gonna right what she said, how you gonna if you ain't right within? That's true. That's true. If you're not listen, if you don't have you together, right? Like really, how are you gonna be if you're not right within? That is so true. Because when you messed up on the inside, mm, 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 that's all I can say is Who is it? Who is it? Oh, excuse me, y'all. Wait a minute. Yeah, you gotta make sure that you get shit in the south. Hey, hey, oh, you guys, no, you don't. Yeah. Hey. Why? No, I was speaking. Yeah, like I was not speaking. Well, I thought you were speaking to me. No. Don't get offended. Oh, you want it over? I did get you some something to drink. What is it? That I had a salmon sandwich, and then they had gave Ern a potato by accident. Oh, it's dripping. He didn't ask for it. I bought it for him. I said, "Mommy, eat this shit. Put some salt on it." Oh, okay. Let me bring me back my damn scraps. But thank you anyway. She's like, I'm just messing. Oh, I forgot how to lie. Oh, they might think I'm a mean person, don't they? No, I'm messing with my daughter. We don't get down like that. I'm picking with her. Move, Bob. Oh, I'm picking with my daughter. But yeah, y'all, you gotta start believing in yourself and picking yourself up and doing what you gotta do. But one thing that will help you more than anything is healing. When you know that you've been traumatized some type of way or hurt some type of way, and you know you're not past it, you got to heal from that. Don't go getting into another relationship or something knowing you ain't healed. Don't do that to somebody. Don't put that stuff on somebody else. Because it's not fair. Because that person may really love you. And then they get with you and you got all this trauma going on. And then you be zapping out on them. Basically, you lose control. Don't do that. That's not fair. And it's not right. And it's going to come back on you. I'm ready to go, y'all. And as always, don't forget to repent and pray because you never know when it's your last day. And I will holler at y'all on the next one.